Hello and welcome to Nomad Survival. I'm Gemini Chimera, and I just want to take a look at one of the upcoming genres, the survival bullet hell kind of game. I prefer to play characters like the Crusader, who are favoring on their own defenses right away, but to avoid pigeonholing myself into survivability, I do like to play the Berserker. This gives me immediate access to a defensive ability with his aura, some high-range projectiles, and just good general utility. The aura allows me to be very aggressive when taking out mice. We're playing at 100% bonus speed on the default level just because I'm not very progressed, and it's my first round in a while. I like to use the immaterial cloak later on, so I'm going to secure it now so we can make sure we've got access to it as things are going along. I'm also going to increase my skill size. Real quick, I'm just going to turn the volume down a little bit. Those sound effects are a little bit punchy. But because of my aura, I can approach the smaller rats right away without any worries. Grabbing the Mimic Sword, it'll let me have a bit more extra projectiles in the field. I like to kind of bulk up on a few items early on, but then pigeonhole and focus on a handful of things as I'm going. I'm going to use some of our rerolls here, maybe hunt for something. Yeah, just basic index damage. Let's get moving. The thing that keeps me coming back to this game is the constant sense of progression. Every time you clear a level, even if you don't do it too well, up in the top left corner here, you make a little bit of gold that you can invest in a skill tree that you can use to get better and better and go further and further in all kinds of runs. A double stack colorless glyph with my regular aura, so now I've got kind of two overlapping rings around me that are going to help me really keep these smaller enemies away while I rush them to get as many levels as I can early on before things really start to pick up. People new to this genre, this might not look like too much just yet, but as things go on, we definitely are going to start to run into bigger and bigger hordes that are going to have more and more issues defending ourselves against. Picking up some extra item range. I've also got a little sentinel bow who's going to plink away at my enemies. I like to grab the chance to detonate my enemies on kill, because later on when enemies are highly clumped up, it turns even a 5, 10, 15% chance lower ranks of the skill can be very, very advantageous for clearing out large hordes, assuming you get just a little bit of luck. We're starting to see the goat men coming in, and they are more of a threat, but because we went with the barbarian, we've got actually kind of a long span of just strength where we can overwhelm our foes to hopefully rush and get as much power as possible to sustain us when we get further in. We're approaching the 4-minute mark. At the 5-minute mark, a chest will spawn that we're going to chase down to go get some more upgrades. It's kind of like a legendary item that significantly improves one of our weapons. It's not guaranteed to be for a weapon we have, meaning that there's a good chance when we pick it up it might not do anything for us immediately. But when we do find something that matches with it, it will help us out immensely. The Piercing Ray. Things are going to get real busy on screen real soon. I like the Piercing Ray because it's something that can often clear paths for me when I get surrounded by too many enemies. Right away, it's not the greatest, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. And there's our starting chest. I'm going to buff that passive to a 10%, and there's our first detonation right there, actually, I think. I'm going to rush this chest, not really worrying about spawns or getting gear at this point, just because the items in the chest can really guide what you want to pick up later on. I could find a relic here that boosts my rune, I could find a number of things. I find the most effective way as this class is to stand inside of the chest and break it with your AoE. Oh. That's new. Oh cool, they've added the ability to get a choice between the two of them, and rerolls. And I'm going to grab that relic for my Piercing Ray. Ooh, this is new since I last played. I'm going to grab a free level up just because I wasn't too far along my XP bar there. And the third one was a healing. I'm already at full health, and the second one didn't seem all that interesting. And more item collection pickup to help us gather those far-off gems as we're moving. being a little bit aggressive to the bright, big boss monsters, because they drop a slightly better crystal to give us a little more XP. But we're still in these early phases. Things are nice and calm right now. I'm actually going to just let them come to me for a moment, see how we're doing for enemy density as things go. The cloak does work a little bit against us, and at repelling enemies, causing us to not necessarily get the most we could be getting, but it does mean that there are going to be times when I've got opportunities to collect loot I wouldn't normally be able to get. As well, because it's a defensive ability that doesn't rely on my health at all, I can rely on it on this barbarian class that doesn't gain healing. The SP per tick potion allows me to fire more of those pellet rotations per second. You can see the small ring next to my health here. Free chest. I'm going to double down on that, the ray. I like the piercing ray a lot. Yeah, again, the 10 rerolls is fine, but the instant level seems a lot better to me. I have 12 rerolls stacked up. I tend to just take what's available to me and not worry too much, and then do a bulk reroll when I'm hunting for something specific. I think on my next level up, I'm going to try to hunt for levels for my piercing ray, just because it's my longest ranged attack, and it seems to be treating me pretty well, especially with the double stacking of relics. Though I will say that grabbing the extra SP early on is also quite useful. And there is one of those chain explosions. Get some extra projectiles for everything that I have that shoots pellets. And there's those chain explosions again. Some more damage out of the box. Increasing my skill radius, get those auras around me a little bit larger, give me a little more leeway when people are coming in towards me. Especially now that we're getting into the darker parts of the stage. Gives me a little bit more of a safety net when things are coming towards me. More item pickup range means we're going to get a lot more of those gems without having to risk ourselves as often. And yeah, let's get that ray upgraded. I know that there's an upgrade for the ray that gets me a second one on the opposite side, as well as rotation speed. Coming up on 10 minutes, we're about to get another one of those chests to spawn. Spawning down here in the bottom left, and we're going to take that bonus bomb chance. 15% now, I believe. We can rely that just about 1 in 8 people will detonate, which is pretty nice. Stand inside the chest so all of our pellets hit it at once. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go with the purification circle and try to take that next time I level up, as well as pop destiny again, because advantageous at this point. And we'll upgrade the size of our outer colorless aura. Keep that defensive radius going. I don't want to expend too many of my rerolls just fishing for items, because there's no guarantee that I'll get what I'm looking for. It's better to just take something that you know is either an upgrade or works well with what you're working with. Yeah, that'll probably be the last stamina potion I take for a while, unless I really find some stuff that upgrades my pellets. The amount that I've got now seems to be doing me well. Upgrade that cloak duration just a little bit. And now we're spawning back into the second kind of daytime. Hopefully we can see lots of gems sitting around that I've missed. Get that ray back up. I'd love to get that ray really well upgraded, especially double stacking those relics. I think that it might be able to help me finish this map out, which is really exciting. Increase the effective size of all my things. kind of got my fingers crossed that maybe I'll stumble across a third relic for the piercing ray, but we can't always get what we want. There we go. Double the laser, double the effect. I can much more reliably expect it to defend me now, instead of just being a random burst of damage in a random direction. Since it's paired, it will pretty well sweep about 2/3 of the screen at this point. Closer to half right now, but we'll get it up there. Ooh, we got our first real boss spawn. We've got the little slime guy here. I think he's really adorable with his chubby cheeks. There are some very sustainably spooky bosses in this game. I don't find this to be one of them at this point. We get our next chest. Ooh, a relic for our cloak to reduce the cooldown, so we have it more often. Yeah, let's go with that since we don't have the lightning. We're about halfway through the level, so I will actually grab the Fate, pick up those extra rerolls. And we're going to head on down to that third chest at the 15-minute mark. A little bit of extra pickup range seems like a good choice now. Ooh, bonus relic too. I was just gonna go with that EP001 just to make sure that once we do finally get it, it does well. Ooh, a way to turn the... So now I have an ability, if I find the slow to trap enemies, I'll be able to slow them down and leave a little bit of lingering field of damage. Because of our low XP, I'll take the level up again. And I want to hunt for that Purifying Circle, because now I have one that follows me, giving me a triple stacked aura centered around me. Well, the Purification Circle is active. 4 stacks if I stay still, which is really nice. That sound effect is, again, pretty punchy. I'm going to bring that back down. These sound effects are really quite loud. Hopefully you guys can hear me nice and clearly, though. We'll grab that extra projectile. That ability does only apply extra projectile every other offer, so the first time we grabbed it didn't actually directly help us, but it set us up for grabbing it there with a benefit. Feels like we're doing alright at about the halfway point through a run. Seems like our damage is keeping up, seems like our abilities are doing just fine. I've just grabbed an upgrade for that bow. It's still pretty basic, but hopefully with some upgrades it can help me take care of some enemies. We've gathered a solid amount of money here too. I kind of want to look for an upgrade for that aura. Oh, piercing ray. That's going to try to keep that to be our main upgrade path for our offensive weapons instead of our defensive weapons. I'm seeing lots of little heart drops around, but I know that they don't really mean anything in this build. Again, as the barbarian, the red-cloaked fighter here, we don't directly benefit from any healing at all. I'm pretty sure that it explicitly states that you can get no healing in any way. I've not experimented with it, but we picked up a heart there and nothing happened, and I'm relatively sure even the level up heals will not actually top me up. So, as with the barbarian mindset, hyper-aggression and making sure that everything's dead before it can hurt me seems to be the best course of action. That large area field from the Purification Circle will be really good for defending myself when I do start getting outnumbered and swarmed, but it seems like I'm doing alright here at this point. My damage is very, very high due to some upgrades that I have in the passive skill tree. Meaning that I can really just steamroll early on, but I haven't quite finished or won a run yet. Hopefully we can get that with you guys here. Get the colorless glyph a little bit larger, give us a bit more of that safety net. The knockback on the auras around me will also help a lot because it'll stop enemies from swarming me directly. Heading on over to get our 4th natural spawn crystal chest. And again, standing inside of it so that all my projectiles hit the box instead of wasting them on the enemies makes it go by real fast. And since we've got that bow, oh yeah, those are nice significant arrows that should hopefully help clear out some of the chaff. Back to that purification circle. Maybe get one underneath the boss here. Yeah. There we go. There's our next chest from the boss. And we're going to go ahead and take... We're going to take the energy wave. Even though I don't have that skill yet, it is one that I favor. And we can pick it up right there. Big area of effect. Medium to above average damage if I invest in it, but again, this is the very basic one. It's got an extra projectile because of my extra projectile buff. Its size is super buff because of the size stuff I've gathered. So it's really benefiting from a lot of the things I grabbed already. That relic really just supersized it, though. Hopefully I can stumble across a couple more of them, like that, and really crank it up to be central alongside my piercing rays. There we go, we've already got 3 upgrades for it. Now, again, it might look like I'm steamrolling through this, but I haven't finished it before. I've gotten very close. I have gotten to the final boss of this area, and I'm looking forward to starting fights on the next one. I'm much prefer this character. His starting ability, or their starting ability that comes with the projectile and the local AoE, gives me a lot of flexibility compared to the other classes, where I don't really feel like I'm as open to different styles of weapons with characters like the cultist, who needs a lot to defend himself, but is excellent at taking care of bosses by himself. Pardon me if I didn't get the exact name of the class right. Once again, I guess we'll just take that passive extra regen. I don't want to burn too many of my limited rerolls just hunting for drops. We will be getting another crystal chest spawn in just about 30 seconds here. So I want to be aware of that so I know when to start moving. These big red boars used to be pretty spooky, but once you've got a decent piercing attack and just all the chaos and AoEs that I've got going on, you can chip them down pretty well without too much worry. And our last crystalline chest has spawned down here in the bottom right. I think it's the last one. I don't think that one spawns at 30, I think just the final boss spawns. And at that point we can hopefully kill him and call this area completed. I walked past it. There we go. It's a nice big ogre over there for us to tangle with. I'll grab the Dancing Dagger. Ooh, and a bonus. And crit bonus. Dancing Dagger bonus means that if we pick up that dagger, it'll be able to huck out and deal lots of problems. I'm not super sold on grabbing it. It's not one of my favorites, but if it comes up and there's nothing else on hand like this, may as well pick it up since I've got the relic that'll support it a little bit. Now we're starting to see a little bit of that overwhelm I was talking about before. Still doing quite well. Very happy with this run so far. Get that energy wave upgraded a little further. Get these frogs. That death detonation set, you can see a lot of the time you'll see ripples send through the map and actually take out large clusters of enemies all at once. It's really good for gathering XP, as well as, again, dealing with those hordes. More wave, apparently, is the goal here. Energy wave is cropping up lots and lots of bits for us to pick up. And due to the sheer size of it, I have a hard time turning energy wave down. It fires frequently, hits broad area of the targets, does lots of damage. It does seem to have a lot of knockback, which can be quite useful for clearing out areas around you. That cloak of mine is giving me some troubles at this point, because it is making the enemies flee, so I'm not able to get quite as many of them grouped up on me. But it does mean that I can very much reward myself and benefit from all the little goodies they're leaving behind for me. Coming up on that 30-minute mark for the run, we are approaching that final boss. I'm hopefully going to be able to take him out for you guys today. He makes the ground very busy. I have to move a lot. I've got to pay very good attention to where he is and what he's doing. If I want to have any chance of beating him. At least at the point where I am in the game right now. Here we go. Oh, not the frog. I want to make sure I stay close enough to him that he's in range to take all of my hits. At the same time, make sure that I'm not standing in clusters of his damage output. And I got him! Nice! Excellent! I got a handful of achievements there. Well, I've been Gemini Chimera. This has been Nomad Survival. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode, and I hope you guys will join me for more in the future. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.